Hey guys, it's Laura and I'm here to do my October TBR. So you guys know October is my favorite month. It's my birthday month. The 21st is my birthday. It's the best month of the year. And I'm very much a seasonal reader. And so I save a bunch of like spooky, atmospheric, horror, thriller books for this particular month, which is a problem because then I end up having too many books to read during one single month. And that is what has happened this month. I have a list here of so many books that I want to get to in the month of October. Will I be able to do it? Probably not. There is a readathon that I'm going to be participating in the last 2 weeks of the month, which is Fortnight Frights, and it's hosted by Seiji from The Artisan Geek. Definitely check it out. If you haven't heard of it, I'll leave her announcement video link down below, and I'm so excited to participate in that. But I'm gonna have a separate TBR for that, I think, coming out later on in the month. So look forward to that. So basically the books that I'm gonna show you today are the books that I wanna read during the first 2 weeks of October, which makes it even more ridiculous. Let's just get into it. The first book that I'm definitely reading is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. I have had this on my shelf for so long, and it's about time I get to it. I'm actually going to be buddy reading this with Tia from Tia and All the Books, so I'm really excited for that. But yeah, what is this about exactly? It is about, okay, it's been a long time since I've read the synopsis and I don't really want to read the synopsis now, but it follows Diana Bishop and she is a witch. And I think she discovers like this magical artifact or like this magical book or grimoire or something like that, and then all of a sudden everyone in the supernatural community is after her for this object. I think that's what it's about. I could be totally wrong, but I'm gonna be reading it first thing this month, so I'll definitely be able to let you know after I read it. And yeah, I'm just really excited about it. I've been wanting to watch the show and just kept putting it off because I wanted to read the book first, and here we are. So yeah, this is definitely the first book I'm going to finish this month. So next I have 2 short story collections that I would like to get through. I really don't know that I'm gonna get through both of them. It might be either one or the other, but first I have His Hideous Heart, and this is edited by Dahlia Adler. So this is a collection of 13 short stories that retell Edgar Allan Poe's stories. And if you don't know, I love Edgar Allan Poe. So in the back we have Edgar Allan Poe's original poems and stories, and then in the front are the retellings. So I've actually started this. I started reading this last year around this time and just never got around to finishing it. I think I've read the first 2 stories. You can see my bookmarks in there. Yeah, I read the first 2 stories and I'm very interested. And the story I'm up to is actually a story inspired by Annabelle Lee, which is my favorite poem ever. So I'm really excited and nervous to read that one. I was so excited when this came out, and I really don't know why I never finished it, but I didn't. And then the next one is Slasher Girls and Monster Boys, and this is edited by April Genevieve Choke. And there are stories from Leigh Bardugo, A.G. Howard, Marie Lu, Jay Kristoff, Danielle Page, just a lot of YA authors. This is a collection of creepy stories, I guess, which is perfect for the month of October. And like I said, I don't really know if I'll have time to get through both of these, but if I manage to finish this one early, then I'll definitely be picking this one up. Next, I have A Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, and I'm really excited to read a book by Grady Hendrix. I haven't read one before, and all of his books sound incredibly interesting to me. He is a horror writer that uses a lot of comedy in his horror as well, which doesn't always work for me, so I don't really know how this is gonna go. But this is about a haunted IKEA-like store, and this book is actually set up like an IKEA catalog, which is super cool. So I'm excited to get to this one. Don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm really hoping I'm gonna love it, because like I said, I definitely want to read more from him if I end up liking this one. And then we have Mallory by Josh Malerman. I have been waiting for this book and saving it for this month. So this is one that I definitely need to get to. This is the sequel to Bird Box by Josh Millerman. And if you don't know, Bird Box follows a young woman named Mallory who is trying to get her kids to a safer location while blindfolded because something has come to Earth and we don't really know what it is. But anytime anyone sees it, they end up completely losing their mind and becoming violent, hurting themselves, hurting the people they love. So everyone kind of has to go around blindfolded. I loved the first book so much. It's one of my absolute favorites. So I'm really excited to read the sequel. I have no idea where it's gonna go, but I'm really excited for this one. And then we have Burn Our Bodies Down. This is by Rory Power. I read Rory Power's first book, which was Wilder Girls, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to get into this one, which is her newest book. This is a YA horror, I believe, just like Wilder Girls, and I know absolutely nothing about this. I just know that I really loved Wilder Girls and wanted to pick this up. So I have it. I have not read the synopsis, so I couldn't tell you anything about this, really. On the back it says, "The air burns me from the inside out. Fire is not like this, not the way I know it. I forgot it could hurt. I forgot it could move." So there you go. That's all I know, which is not really anything. But I'm really excited to pick this up because I really loved Rory Power's writing, and I'm hoping to get that same like creepy, weird atmosphere that I got from Wilder Girls. Next, I have The Dead House, and this is by Dawn Kurtagich. So I read And the Trees Crept In by this author, and it was so good. It was the most creepy YA horror that I've read, and I knew that I had to pick up more from her, so I picked up The Dead House. This is an interesting one because it's told in multimedia format. There are diary entries and like surveillance footage and stuff like that, which is really fun. This follows Carly Johnson. It says 2 decades have passed since an inferno claimed the lives of 3 teenagers and caused Carly Johnson to disappear. The main suspect, Caitlin, the girl of nowhere. But many claim that Caitlin doesn't exist, and in a way she doesn't, because she is an alter ego of Carly Johnson. It sounds like it's going to be really good and really creepy. If it's anything like And the Trees Crept In, I know I'm going to love it. So I'm really excited to get to this one as well. And then I have Dead Voices. This is by Catherine Arden. This is the sequel to Small Spaces. This is a middle grade spooky series that I really enjoy. Catherine Arden wrote the Bear and the Nightingale trilogy, the Winter Night trilogy. She has just the most beautiful writing, and these are just really fun. They're really fun, quick, spooky reads, and I thought I'd throw this one in and read it during this month because it's the perfect month to read it, even though I think this one takes place during the winter time. The first one took place in fall. This one takes place in winter. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to that one. And then the next one I have here is The Price Guide to the Occult by Leslie Walton. So this is a book that I was interested in when it first came out and never got around to picking it up. It says, all Honora Blackthorne wants is to live an unremarkable teenage life on the sweet little touristy island she calls home, but when a mysterious book comes out, the island's flora and fauna raise their hackles, and strangers and acquaintances alike begin sprouting ominous fern tattoos. A storm is coming. It's coming for Nora. Really excited to read this one as well, and it's also a pretty short one, so I should be able to get through it relatively quickly. Lastly, we have The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. This I got in an Owl Crate, I think it was last year, and I have been very much interested in reading this one. And the bone houses refer to the reanimated dead, so like zombies, and our main character that we're following is Rin, and she and her family own a graveyard. So her and her siblings are grave diggers, and then a map maker comes to town, and Rin and this mysterious map maker work together to try to figure out how to stop the bone houses, as far as I know. I've heard really good things about this author, not so much about this book in particular actually. I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but the author and some of her other books I've heard people say very good things about, so I'm excited to pick this up and see how it goes, and of course, perfect month to do so. So those are the 10 books that I'm hoping to get to in the first 2 weeks of October. I know it's a little much, but I usually read even more in the month of October because I love all the spookiness and all the witchy stuff and all the horror. Yes, I cannot wait. So do let me know what you plan on reading in the month of October. Let me know if you have any thoughts or opinions on the books that I mentioned today. I would love to hear from you in the comments, and also I would love more recommendations for spooky books. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.